Make checking your breast regularly a habit of a lifetime. Touch.
Touch.
Look.
Check.
Touch. Look. Check.
Touch your breasts.
Look for changes.
Check anything new or unusual with a GP.
Touch. Look. Check. Together, let's kick breast cancer into touch.
With the new. I'm in my new era. I'm better in my new era. I'm better in my new era.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Principality Stadium. We're the other side of the Severn Bridge today for the big day out. It is Bristol Bears versus Harlequins women. Bristol Bears turning the corner and looking to end the season strong. Harlequins in a must-win situation if they want to keep their top four dreams alive. The roof is on. It's a beautiful sunny day outside, but it doesn't matter. It's like Las Vegas here. They don't want you to know what time it is, but it doesn't matter. We've got two great games of rugby here at the stadium today. We've got a whole host of brilliant games across Premiership Women's Rugby and great rugby days, the great rugby guests. And we have got one today. Dr. Phoebe Murray, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Really good. Great to have your company for this one. Look, you can be honest with me. It's a big day for you and your teammates today. Are you a little bit disappointed not to be down there?
I am. I think looking at it from up here is fantastic, but I'd so much rather be on the pitch with the girls, and it's a big occasion, and I am sad to miss it, I have to say.
What about the girls that are out there for Bristol Bears today, though? Really tough start to the season after that massive victory against Leicester, but you seem to have turned a corner. New head coach, players getting fit again, present company excluded, of course. What have been the main differences?
I think since Christmas, I think the cohesion within the group has been so much better, and we've had the additions of Lou over from New Zealand and Meryl Smith coming back from injury, which I think have been so key in that centre 10 axis, and it's just allowed us to play a bit kind of more of the Bears way, I think. And the leadership that Lou's brought has been amazing, and it's a shame that this is her last game for us. Because she's been such a great addition, and we're all really sad to see her go.
What about Harlequins then? They seem to be going in the opposite direction. They went on a great run earlier in the season, 5 wins in a row. Now it's 5 losses in a row. Their playoff destiny isn't in their own hands. Is that a surprise to you?
I think if you asked me at the beginning of the season, yes. I think they had a really strong start, and I thought, okay, they'll be in the top 4. But yeah, I think since Christmas they've kind of been a little bit rocky and probably not themselves. I think they've had a couple of games where they've had to change people due to injury or whatever. So I think their continuity in team hasn't been as strong. So I don't know whether that's potentially come into play.
Well, let's take a look at the other fixtures today, because there is so much at stake in the remaining rounds of Premiership Women's Rugby. So we kick off here on YouTube at 12:30 with Bristol Bears versus Quins, and then Saracens versus Sale Sharks. That's live on iPlayer. I mean, Saracens, one of the top teams, going incredibly well, but Sale Sharks, 5 wins in a row, a club record. Then tomorrow, it's almost a playoff shootout between Trailfinders Women and Loughborough Lightning. That is on TNT Sports. And then 2:30, all early games this weekend. Gloucester Hartpury, the league leaders, they are at home against Leicester Tigers, and that is live on YouTube. Every game, as always, free for you to enjoy. I caught up with the coaches when they were doing the warm-ups for all of the entertainment that's about to happen. So Scott Lawson's interview is a little bit loud, but this is what he had to say.
This is an unbelievable occasion. You've got a big smile on your face. I'm not surprised. It doesn't get much better than this, does it?
No, like Principality with the roof on is, if not the best, one of the most iconic rugby venues in the world, and we're fortunate enough to to be part of it today. You can hear just by the noise before the game, the atmosphere that's going to bring come kick off for us, and then the men's game afterwards. So to be part of this double header, like Bristol Bears big day out, like we're so fortunate as a group of players and staff.
You only play Quins at big stadiums because you played them at Twickenham before the new year. It seems like a lot has improved on the pitch since then. So what have been the main differences? What has been this change of tide, this change of quality in Bristol's performances?
We've got a lot of players back from injury. Like the girls we've just become so much more like together as a group. Like new players coming back in from injury, new players like joining the group, like Rui Hayes' influence, Ronita Mulhern coming back from injury, Evie Gallagher back from injury early part of the season really helped our cohesion. Meryl Smith's been outstanding in that midfield, and yeah, we're just in a far better place as a group.
And a quick word while we reach the crescendo of the music on a massive day for Delaney Burns on her 100th today.
Yeah, 100 appearances for Delaney. Like since I've joined the club, she's been outstanding to work with. She's a character amongst the girls. Yeah, and she deserves this type of occasion to make a 100th Bears appearance.
Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. It's been a rough couple of weeks results-wise, but your destiny just about still in your own hands. How important is a result today?
Oh, look, every game's important, right? You want to win every game, and look, we probably haven't spoken about that. Obviously, you call a spade and go, look, this is where we are, this is the reality, but all we can control is how we pitch every week and how we perform. And I think, look, the margins are so tight this season. There's like one or two errors and you win a game or lose a game, and I feel like we've probably been in that space and we've been on the wrong end of those results. I don't think we haven't pitched in the games. We've definitely made errors and that we need to learn from, but it's not been a disaster. We've created opportunities, we've scored tries. I thought the defence last week was excellent. A couple of silly penalties that we give away gives teams field possession, and then it really hurts you. And I think, look, that was the same story. So, look, going back to the original question, look, all we can control is how we perform today. It's an amazing venue, amazing occasion, so it's something we're excited about.
One big change in the back line. We see Ella Cromack slotting in there at 15. We're used to seeing her at 10. What's the thinking behind that, and what can we expect from her today?
Yeah, look, I think Ella's been exceptional today. It's been a bit of a bitty week with some international camps going on, so I wanted to keep the same combination of 9 and 10. I thought they were excellent last week in driving the tempo and pace of our game, and I think Ella's played phenomenally well this season, so wanted to give her an opportunity. Offers a different threat in the backfield, a really strong kicking game, big boot, but is also an elusive runner in a different way. So I'm excited that she gets a run out today at fullback.
It's a little bit like Las Vegas in here because the roof's on, the lights are on, you've got no idea what time of day it is, but you really rose to the occasion against Bristol Bears at Twickenham just before the new year. Will this big occasion, this big stadium, bring the best out of your team again today?
Oh, look, I hope so. Well, I'm excited and I'm up for the challenge, and I think, look, it's something we are used to as a club. Whether that equates to the performance, we'll only find out today. But look, the girls are excited. It's been a really good week training. So yeah, I'm excited to get going.
Me too. Good luck.
Cheers, Dave.
Great to hear from the coaches. Let's take a quick look at the teams because Quins are already out of the tunnel. For Bristol Bears, 100th appearance for Delaney Burns. A massive day for her, and Romaster Mulhern returning from injury. And it is potentially a final time in the 10 jersey for Rue Demont. She's been a phenomenal addition to the team and the league. As for Harlequins, we already spoke about it with the coach, but Ella Cromack at 15. That is a change as Kaylee Powell is at 10. Jade Conkle captains, and it was a final led-out appearance by Liane Mikaeli Tu'u as she will return with Ruahe Demont to New Zealand before the end of the season. Well, a massive show. The flames firing all the way up to the roof that is closed here at one of rugby's great cathedrals. But Bristol Bears led out today by Delaney Burns on her 100th appearance. A phenomenal achievement from her, Phoebe. Tell us about her as a teammate.
She's a fantastic teammate. I remember when she came at 17 years old, very quiet, which if you know Delaney, you know that is incredibly out of character. She brings so much energy, she brings so much experience, and I'm really excited to see how she goes today on her 100th game.
She's really been part of the evolution of Bristol Bears, hasn't she? In the first few years in the Premier 15s when you were on the wrong end of some scorelines to then becoming a regular playoff addition. She has been at the heart of all of it. Hamish Grant is the man in the middle today. What a way to kick off your rugby weekend. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Premiership Women's Rugby live from the Principality Stadium. It's Bristol Bears' big day out. And it's Harlequins' opportunity to keep their playoff hopes alive. 7 teams still in contention for the big day at the end of the season. Bristol Bears in the blue jerseys, Harlequins in the pink. And this really is anybody's game, particularly with the way that Bristol are playing and the confidence that Harlequins will be bereft of. Interestingly, Ella Cromack in at 15 today, but she is going to be on kicking duty. And, well, as a young playmaker, that really has been a hallmark of her game, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say she's got one of the best boots in the league, and it's been so nice to see this season, getting her a bit more game time, getting her a bit more comfortable in that 10 jersey, pulling the strings for Quins, and I think she's a really exciting prospect for them.
Collie Powell. She's at 2 today. First line out of the day. Important to get it right, and the people who got it right were Bristol Bears. That's turned over. And Marston Mulhern, oh, great carry from her. Signature carry. Looking forward to seeing some of these battles today between the big ball carriers in both packs. Harlequins really stacked with a lot of back rowers due to the strength of 6, 7 and 8. Jade Conkle, potentially her penultimate game for Harlequins as captain, has been pushed up into the second row. Kira Bevan gets things going. That's a good carry from Demant. Tell us what she's, obviously the on-the-pitch side of things that she's brought, but in terms of off-the-pitch and her experience, what she brought to Bear Country.
She has just brought such a sense of calm leadership. She's incredibly experienced, and she is just one of the nicest human beings ever. She looks out for her teammates. She puts everyone's interest before hers. And she's just a great person to have around.
Well, we've got a couple of Kiwis, a whole host of countries represented here. Of course, the English, the Scots and the Welsh, but we've got Canadians, we've got South Africans, we've got Spaniards, we've got Italians. What have I missed? Swedes? Did I say Swedes?
I think that's also in there. Yes, it's very exciting.
It's the first penalty of the game for the Bristol Bears. It is Demant giving the Bears an opportunity to attack this Quins 22. Here's a replay of the penalty. Quins always offside as Beth Wilcock was trying to steal in on the edge. Good line out. Bears go to them all. Lana Skeldon at hooker today. In that box seat at the back. The pack doing some good work here. Kira Bevan waiting for it, but it's been taken down instead. Bristol Bears leaving some hands in there at ruck time, just stopping the Quins escaping. A little bit frustrating for those in pink. Another penalty advantage coming, the referee tells us. Another heavy carry. Lizzie Hanlon called into defensive duty. Bevan, Simi Pam, little tip is a loose one, but they were playing with house money before the decision's made. What are you doing here? Points, corner, tap and go?
I think this early in the game, you've got to go to the corner.
Oh.
I think you've got to show a bit of ambition and see what you got. And then I guess with the driving maul having such success a couple of minutes ago, I think it'd be good to challenge that again and try and get over the line.
Well, the last line out, the catch and drive, looked pretty complete, didn't it? Nobody looked flustered. Lana Skeldon at hooker. Bristol Bears, you've got a real depth at hooker, haven't you, really, when everyone's fit? Great line-out ball. Quins don't compete, and Bristol Bears start to go forward already. Skeldon gets her hands on the ball. Oh, stopped just short. But Bears find themselves in a great position and burrow over from short range. What a start for Bristol Bears on their big day out. They lead Harlequins 5-0.
Yeah, that was really quick thinking there from Chris. You can see here that Bears get the ball, but manage to disrupt it from the Quins team. They separate, and Lana has to break off and goes down, and I thought they probably might have ruined their chance. But quick thinking from Chris, just to snipe round and get the ball over the line.
Chris Balogun opens the scoring here at the Principality Stadium. Well, you call her Chris. Can I call her Chris?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
She does prefer that.
Okay, fine.
Just don't call her Christina, or she might punch you.
No. Although that is my sister's name.
Oh, just don't mix them up.
No, not at all. Christiana.
Yes, there's an extra I in there.
Bevan. Oh, looks good. Oh. She's hit the Sunday roast. Then it remains Bristol Bears 5, Harlequins 0. Strikes a good ball, Kira Bevan, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. That was a tough one, almost out on the touchline, but she did really well then. And I know that she'll be frustrated, but she'll hopefully get another couple of opportunities.
Really quick thinking, wasn't it? No Quins defender there very often. It's all about patience, perseverance and punch there, but if a gap opens, you've got to take advantage of it, and Balogun did exactly that. Good catch by Millie David. Well, when these two teams met earlier in the season at the Allianz Stadium, it wasn't a great day for Bristol Bears, but Millie David scored a quite miraculous try. She's something, isn't she?
She is, and she's not called Millie Whiz for no reason.
Yes,
She's a fantastic young player, and she just got named in her first Six Nations Senior Red Roses squad. So really excited, and I hope she gets an opportunity during the Six Nations to show what she can do on the international stage.
Well, there have been a couple of the young guns, the future stars, who've been brought into camp. It must be so incredibly difficult for the coaching staff when you've got a winning team to find the opportunities to bring these players in, but there's only so long you can ignore the talent for.
Exactly, and I think with it, the big World Cup being last year and being in a new cycle, now is a good time to give new caps out. 2
on the short side, 4 on the open side for Harlequins. Kira Bevan getting in that passing channel and stopping Burgess doing what she wanted to. There's Turani. Expect a lot of work from her today. The Italy captain wearing 1 for Harlequins, Claudia Peña. She's had a really good season, whether it's been in the wing or on the centre, in the centres. Freya Orkin. Then Burgess sends one of the big trucks into action. Good tackle from the Bristol Bears hooker. Conkle. Bristol Bears dealing with what's coming at them so far. Quins finding gain line hard to come by. That was Beth Wilcock off her wing. Parry, another one of those exciting youngsters who's been invited into the England camp. Oh, that is a huge carry from Michaeli Tu'u, but then the ball goes forward, and now transition ball here for Bears to work with. Simi Pam frees the hands. There's her prop partner, Sarah Byrne. Then the kick, half charge down. It's like wacky races trying to get hold of it. And it's Bristol Bears ball. They're just winning all those 50-50s right now. Got some big collisions, aren't there?
Yeah, there are, and it's absolutely a long passage of play back and forth. I would have liked to have seen Bristol capitalise on that turnover ball a little bit better, but it's good that they've kept the ball now.
Simi Pam loves to put herself in at first receiver. Great to see her back as well. She spent a little bit too long for her liking in a boot.
She did, yeah. I spent a bit of time with her in rehab club, but she did really well to come back from a nasty ankle injury at Twickenham. So, yeah, she did really well to come back.
Obviously, rehab club isn't where you want to be, but is it ever fun when there's good people in it?
It is, actually, and I think I use the phrase trauma bonding.
Yes.
You kind of go through the pits of rehab together, and you're each other's biggest supporters.
Good.
So, yeah, it has its place.
Well, that was a first touch for Cromack at 15, and if there were any nerves, I'm sure they'll have dissipated as Wilcock thinks she sees half a gap. Balogun disagrees. Burgess. Kaylee Powell. I think the decision with her at 10 and Cromack at 15 is the fact that Cromack has been away and they've not really had the chance to settle. So it's the same 10, 12, 13 as last week, but Bristol Bears winning the penalty with the Jackal. And they're kind of just dead stopping Quins at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, actually, that was a really positive defensive set from Bristol. You know, they didn't let Quins into their own half too far, had a couple of turnover balls, and as you can see there, Renita got over the ball, and she's incredibly difficult to move once she gets over. She's very strong.
Yeah, she is the kind of player that you really miss when she's not around. Another one who just feels like she's been part of the furniture for so long.
She has. She's been there since the beginning, and it's so good to see her back.
Balogun. I think the DJ decided he wanted to play a little bit of tunage there as the ball goes to touch. Does feel like a bit of a party in here, and it's going to build throughout the day. Bevan off the left hand. Demant. Oh, just a little bit loose, but it's into the hands of Bonner. She can make something out of nothing anywhere on the pitch. So Lovibond and Bonner all out of the next attack. It's all very forward-based at the moment, though, but now it's Quinn's turn to do some damage in defence. Sarah Parry heavily involved. Oh, what a tackle, forcing the knock-on. Massive hit from Mikaeli Tu.
Yeah, that was a bit of a statement hit, wasn't it?
Oh, wasn't it?
Yeah, I would not want to be on the end of that and my poor ribs.
Yeah, that was heavy. Oh, whack. I mean, she's worn it well, and she was back on her feet immediately, but...
Yeah, she's tough, Lana. She'll take a bit more than that to keep her down, so I think she took that in her stride quite well.
Well, another player with international caps.
Yeah, she's a great player. She brings so much experience at hooker. And whilst Lark Davies is out pregnant, she takes on that role of our starting hooker and does that really, really well.
I think she's from Hoyk in the Borders.
She is, and you're pronouncing that perfectly well, because we had an argument last night.
Last night?
It looks like Howick.
It does. Oh, but there are plenty of places. I mean, I'm from Wales. I'm not having a discussion with anybody about how things look compared to how they're pronounced. But yeah, Hoyk, beautiful, and very close to Melrose as well, the birthplace of rugby sevens. Have you been to that part of the world?
I actually haven't, no.
Oh, it's honestly gorgeous. And I know that the Quins girls went up to Melrose Sevens and won it last year. Had a bit of a tour, bit of a new experience for a lot of the players.
Oh, did they? That sounds like an exciting trip.
Yeah, I think you win a sword.
Okay.
So getting that onto, well, you'd never get it onto the plane home, but I think even get it onto a train home might be an issue.
And then mount it on the wall?
Yeah, maybe. But either way, it's sort of one of those rugby experiences, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Melrose Sevens.
Bind. Set. Steady. Stay up.
A for wafer. Now Tirani.
First player got the ball.
Oh, that was so close to being brilliant. It was stolen by Orr. Speaking of sevens, that was a bit sevensy, wasn't it? Out of the cat flap.
That was quite sevensy. She's unlucky there. You could see exactly what she was trying to do. And off this scrum, you can't let Eva Wafer get that much ground and that much space, because she is absolutely lethal. She can do it all. But you can see what Emma's trying to do here. She's spotted that Ren's on her outside and she wants to get her arm free, but just couldn't quite execute that.
Finally, a good line out for Harlequins and a platform in midfield to try and build something. Been largely second best for these opening 13 minutes. No trips to the red zone. Just the Balogun try, separating the two teams. But now some space for Wilcott. Powerful runner. She's got a history of tries against Bristol Bears as well. She's another one who's had a lot of injury problems. Scored on her return a couple of years ago at Dings Crusaders.
Number 8 must roll away first.
You can see here that you can't go for a turnover until your own players rolled out of the way, because they just obstruct the Quins players coming in. So that's why there's a penalty there.
And that is something that referees are so hot on at the moment. It seems to be the fashionable thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's something that gets practiced in training a lot, tackling and rolling the right way so you can get out quickly as possible to give your players the opportunity to go for a turnover.
First jaunt into the 22 then for the pink jerseyed Harlequins. Powell. Oh, first job done. Great take by Mikaeli Tu'u. And this is well defended by Bristol Bears. Now it starts to move forward. Burgess steps into position, parries, waiting to rev the engine. Oh, she's knocked it on. Millie David. The intimidating sight of Millie David in defence causes Sarah parry. Oh, good shot by Svoboda. She has quietly been a very good Premiership back rower for a very long time, Sarah Svoboda.
Yeah, she has. I think she's kind of made her way up the ranks and kept her starting shirt in that Quinn side. She's a very, very good chop tackler and very strong into contact.
Well, she is now Dr. Sarah Svoboda as well, but not the same kind of doctor as you, I'm afraid.
I think she studied for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust her to give me a prescription. So another line out inside the 22. Another opportunity for Harlequins to score, but this time they've overthrown it. And Bristol Bears, they've got a running game. It doesn't matter where they are on the pitch, they will try and make dents, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Great support play. The pass is good. Bonner up over halfway. She gets it back to all. This sweeping Bristol Bears from their own try line into the Quins' half. Oh, it's a loose one, but Pam picks it up. Good hands from her and gets the fend on Powell and makes, 7 or 8 metres she had no right to. Bristol Bears with their tails up. Demant. God, what power from Demant, backed up by Balogun. And then Bears trying to find their way forward again. Wafer attempting to rip. It's an unsuccessful attempt. Marston, Mulhern, back up to the 10. That little extra roll to get herself in a good position. Inside ball, a good one. Oh, what a carry. Flattening Burgess. Then Burns takes a run up. And it briefly slows down for Bristol Bears, but not before Quins can give away a penalty. So a free shot here for Bristol. They're a long way out, but that doesn't seem to matter. And Herring, referee happy to let this one run. Sarah Byrne. Then helps it on, short ball. Pam looking to punch through. Really good clear out. And again, we talk about ball in play in these long periods, and it's a long time for Bristol Bears to think of ideas. It's an even longer time for Harlequins to try and defend them.
Yeah, that was a long passage of play, but a great example of what can come off turnover ball. You just see from the overthrow of the line out here, Lana did great to get on the end of it, and Quins aren't set to defend, they're set to attack in the 22, so that's why there's so much space that Bears can attack into. And Ella does really well here to keep the ball alive, same with Emma and Renika with the offloads. I think Bears then just got a little bit stuck, but hopefully they'll be able to get a good platform off this line out.
Long way to touch for Demant. Yeah, that's a replay of the penalty. Lana Skeldon here at Bristol Bears now, but played Premiership Women's Rugby with Worcester Warriors and the DMP Sharks. RIP DMP. And this time Quins have pinched it. So both lineouts faltering a little bit. Conkle. Now a little bit of width. Bit too deep to compete, but it is going to bounce, and who's it going to favour? Aoife Wafer, that's who. Wafer finds the offload. Mikaeli Tu'u takes it from her. The back row is combining. Powell.
Take it clear. Take a release, please.
Then Wilcock, inside ball. I mean, Michaela Tutu, she just gets up and recharges, doesn't she?
I think I've seen her about 5 times in the last 2 minutes, so she gets a lot.
Oh! Balogun empties Tarani.
That's a Chris special, that is.
Do not run onto that shoulder. Little pump pass from Pena. And then Cromack back in the game. Bristol just slow it down and have chance to reset.
No, 7. He's the wrong side. Thank you.
Can Harlequins magic something up here? Can they find an edge? Can they find the pace? Beth Wilcock gets around the tackler. Wilcock! Beth Wilcock is going to score for Harlequins. What a finish from Beth Wilcock to level the scores here in Cardiff.
Yeah, that was a fantastic finish from Beth Wilcock. She had a couple of defenders to beat there as she used her super strength, her agility and her speed, and she got round them and in the corner.
Well, she's the only player in the starting 15 today who started the day they won the title. What seems like all those years ago.
Yeah, she's a consistent player. She's very, very fast and she's very strong, as you can see. And she's been at Quins for a long time and she's been unlucky with quite a few big injuries. So, yeah, it's good to see her back fit and flying.
Yeah, just strong through that first tackle. Then with all these great PWR finishers, once you beat the first, they just ooze confidence. Cromack to give Quins the lead. Great strike, Ella Cromack. Whether it's 10 or 15, she is top drawer off the tee. And it's Bristol Bears 5, Harlequins 7. Looks like we've got a game on our hands.
Yeah, well, this is exactly what we want, a contest. I think Quins are firing to get into that top 4 and try and give themselves a shot, and Bears are trying to upset that chance. So, yeah, I think we've got a game.
It's funny, isn't it? I've got 2 teams here who love to throw it about, love to score tries. We're on a big pitch, a great track. But we're 20 minutes in, 2 tries, and neither team has really had any gilt-edged chances, have they? It has been a big attritional, physical midfield battle so far. Is that something you might have expected today, or had it go in a different way?
Yeah, I think both sets of forwards are big physical carriers and good tacklers as well, as we've seen. So I'm not surprised that there's been that contest in the middle, but I think going forward I'd like to see both teams kind of take that opportunity of that edge space that seems to be coming in the kind of 4th, 5th, 6th phases.
Still reeling from that Balogun tackle on Tarani. Tarani is a great carrier as well. She doesn't finish second like that very often. Now a bit of shape on this attack from Bristol Bears. Crowd getting excited as they step inside. Tries to create some space. Charge down on Bevan. Quins win it back, and it's Beth Wilcock, the try scorer. But very often those loose balls provide opportunities for turnovers, and Bristol with a penalty in a great part of the pitch.
Yeah, I think Kira's lucky that there was a penalty there because of that charge down. I know that our coaches are probably 10 metres to my right with their head in their hands being charged down that close into the line.
Yeah, we are close to them, aren't we? Although they haven't given us any scowls yet, so they're obviously not upset with what we've said.
No, not quite. Watch myself.
Another line out in the 22 for Bristol Bears. There have been misses in key areas, but when they've nailed the first drill, they've looked very comfortable in this part of the game. Delaney Burns this time, they're going a bit more direct though, and Meryl Smith, turn of pace from her. Lovely balance. Big clear out from Herring. And Pena is offside. She's a little bit too keen to make the tackle. Now Simi Pam, bouncing ball, knocked on. We'll go back for the penalty. I mean, it is incredibly brave from Claudia Pena to try and get in the spokes that early, but she was a bit too keen.
Offside number 10.
Yeah, that was a great carry from Merrill. She just put that inside step in on Tarani, and she got through that first tackle as well. So she did really well to get Bears close to that line. And yeah, I would not want to be tackling Rowe, so that's fair enough to have a shot.
Let me know if we just got some.
It's Ella Lovibond who's down getting the attention of the medics.
Keep playing, she's not caught the line now.
Yeah, I think she unfortunately might have got a knee to the rib.
Oosh. 15 minutes to go in the first half. Bristol Bears back in the Quins 22. They've got the ball, not the way they wanted it, but good position nonetheless. But Delaney Burns, Sarah Burns, too many Burns and Burns, Bernie Burnos, Burners.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there. If there's a ball that hasn't gone quite straight in the hands I want it to go to, it would be Sarah Byrne, but she's unlucky there just to get a knock on.
Her try highlights video would be up there with anybody's try highlights video who's ever played in Premiership Women's Rugby.
Yeah, she is absolutely formidable. She is insanely fast for a prop. And I think, she's got it all. She can carry, she's fast, she's got pass, she can offload. And she's also very good at the scrum.
Yes, which of course is the nuts and bolts of a tight head. She scored one a few years ago at the Stoop, actually, that was a dummy so good it even fooled me in commentary.
I've known to been done by that in training too.
But the thing is, you've admitted that in front of our global audience now, so you could have kept that as your little secret. But honesty is always the best policy, right?
I have no shame.
Tough exit here for Harlequins. Just a reminder that our clock is pretty close, but we're not entirely linked in with the referee's watch, so there might be a little bit of give and take as we get to the 40 and the 80. Which I am aware that when you're watching and it's a close game, if you're a supporter of either of these teams, it could get a little bit squeaky. Now, the penalty's been given there. Just wondering if the ball had come back out of the tunnel, which usually means a reset, but obvious dominance there from the Bristol Bears scrum. It is on that right-hand side. We were talking about Sarah Byrne moments ago.
Yeah, and there's no surprise there. That's something that she's very, very good at. And actually, it looks like Bristol have opted again for the scrum.
See Sylvia Tarani there. A fantastic prop in her own right, but she is being given a tough time by Bristol Bears Red Rose. I mean, how lucky are England to have her and Maud Muir in the same era?
Yeah, I certainly don't want to be John Mitchell trying to make that selection decision. I think I'd have quite a headache.
We just said we'll get left of the mark, okay? Then we're going to have our heads in the gap this side, please. Let's not mess around with head on head. Let's go.
I think one area of Sarah Byrne's game that's developed this year is definitely her leadership. With the likes of Abby Ward being pregnant and taking a step back from that captain role, she's really stepped up. And she speaks really well to the team. She gets everyone on her side, and she's one of those players I think I would probably run through a brick wall for.
If she hadn't run through the brick wall first, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think she'll run through, create the gap, and I'll just follow her.
It's a really nice narrow picture of backs here behind the scrum, but Roe Marsden-Mulhern is going to go first. It's good work by Michaela Tu'u just to drag her down. Good counter ruck from the Kiwi as well before Simi Pam with a typically explosive carry. Oh, first player rip there from Powell. It's one of those ones where it's a great turnover. They probably have preferred the penalty, Harlequins. But now they've got to exit. Wafer. Burgess. Well, she sets herself, and don't think Quins are going to run it from here because Bristol are set in defence. They don't want to go through too many phases. Cromack gets the distance but doesn't find the touch. Oh, wow. Millie David off the chest into touch, and that is, well, that couldn't have gone much better for the visitors.
Yeah, that was a good exit from Ella. you see her intention of trying to get it off the pitch, but didn't quite get there. But yeah, unfortunately, Millie just made that slight error, which I know that she'll be kicking herself for. So hopefully she can just put that to the side and focus on the next job.
Well, these things happen. We're so used to seeing Bristol get it to the edge. We've not seen a massive amount of Millie David or Renika Bonner in this game so far. We've seen plenty of those scrum caps, the likes of Skeldon and Wafer and Mikaeli Tu'u. It's a good clear out. Now, Kaylee Powell, short ball. Sarah Parry, very capable of going direct. Cromack.
No! Good, she's onside.
Again, the clear out good. Nobody on the short side for Quinn, so they've got to go open. Little tip on. Tirani wants to offload it. Kaylee Powell. Little stop and go. That's the kind of work straight off the sevens field. And a nice long presentation as well that stopped Burns picking her pocket. Svoboda. Quinn's looking after the ball a little bit better at ruck time here. Pena, pump pass, Wafer. Stumbles over the Kira Bevan tackle. God, there are some absolute strength battles, everything an arm wrestle. Bevan, Wafer over the top. Well, Fee McIntosh, little arm slipping up there as Conkle takes the short ball from Tirani. Long periods of play, aren't there? So much ball in play time.
Yeah, I think I'd be incredibly out of breath if I was playing right now. But yeah, there's some big tackles going in, so making that physical shot was something that I know both teams will be wanting to do, but it does make for some exhausting rugby.
So talk to me about the sort of excitement in the build-up to this big day out then for the Bristol Bears, not just sort of in this training week, but generally it's great to see more of these events happening up and down the country.
Yeah, definitely. And before Christmas we had the game at Twickenham, which was a really good day, and obviously now looking at playing in two big stadiums in one season.
Yeah, very cool.
Is very, very cool.
Connie Powell can't take that any further forward, so Pena tries to sell the dummy. Just about got a knee down there as Master Mulhern thought she'd got her in the maul. Svoboda, little step. Manages to present it. Quinn's back in the 22 here. Not spent a lot of time in the Bristol Bears red zone. Conkle. Quinn's keeping it narrow. Plenty of heavy ball carriers there, but a few of them taken out, protecting that maul. Another head down carries from Svoboda. Master Mulhern nearly ripped that. Powell. 5 meters short now for Quinn. Slightly quicker ball. Hanlon. 2 meters to go between Harlequins and a second try. Oh, it's a loose one. Could have been a chance to turn it over, but Pena reacted the quickest. Quins lose valuable meters. Bears can set up to defend round the corner, and Simi Pam and Delaney Burns do exactly that.
Back foot, Bristol.
Oh, just a little toe offside for Bristol Bears. Now perhaps a chance for Quins to put a bit of width on it, but Tirani has other ideas. Aoife Wafer playing with the advantage. Master Mulhern wrestles her to the floor. Burgess with them going backwards. I wonder how many more phases the referee will give them. There's nobody out on the edge for Harlequins. You could pretty much throw a blanket over the whole team. And no intention, really, of getting it in the hands and doing anything with width. That's a really good line, but what a tackle by Sarah Byrne on Sarah Parry. That is outstanding. A certain try-saver.
Short, no hands.
Great defence again. Quinn still playing with an advantage. Wafer slides over. Eventually, the Bristol Bears down bursts, and patience was the order of the day for Harlequins as Aoife Wafer extends the lead.
Yeah, I think patience is the key word there. I thought that Quins might have used that advantage to maybe get it out to the backs and get it out to those edge spaces where we could see those wingers on their own. But yeah, patience with the carries, a great line from Sarah Parry just to get them that little bit closer. I think she was unlucky there not to get over the line herself. But you can see here, Aoife Wafer just capitalising on that little bit of space that Bristol can't defend and just getting over the line.
We talk about tiny margins, and that was genuinely undefendable because Sarah Byrne is trying to fill that gap, but I think it was Balogun's legs were out stopping her from getting there because she'd made a great tackle.
And Ella Cromack adds the extras with that good boot that we spoke about earlier.
Well, she doesn't look like missing today, does she, Ella Cromack? And that's a really important conversion because it makes it a 2-score game. But yeah, so I'm not sure we'll see it from this angle, but the clear out comes there from Connie Powell, and then Balogun has brought out Tarani, and there's nothing that Sarah Byrne can do to fill that gap.
No, I think if she did, she would have been offside, and then that would have been a penalty anyway. So yeah, unfortunately there was nothing she could do.
That tackle she made on Parry. Sometimes in rugby you hear nonsense like, oh, it's a mismatch, there's a prop in the defensive line. No, that was... wow. But it is Harlequins. Conceded the early try. Balogun getting the 5-pointer. And that's a good clearance kick. Now, perhaps you can give me a little bit of insight on this. Is that a deliberate tactic from Bristol to kick to Quinn's best kicker, knowing you're going to get the ball back?
It's not something I think we spoke about this week, or something that I'm aware of. But actually, I think that is a good tactic. It means that you get a set piece to launch something off in your own half. And hopefully Bristol makes something the most of it.
Bonner with her hands on the ball. Lovibon, Millie David tackled well. That was Beth Wilcock going flying through the gap there, but it's Bristol who secure the ball. Feels like a little while since they've had a good go at it, the Bristol Bears. Is there another score before half-time? Is there any space? There's not for David. Is there for Bonner? No, she's tackled well by Pena.
You're off feet, thank you.
Kira Bevan demands, takes it to the line. Simi Pam with a run-up. She's quick. How does she do in the sprint test compared to the backs? It just always looks like she's motoring.
She's actually kind of as good as the back. She's got very good technique and a background in athletics, so that's where that comes from. But she's an incredibly powerful athlete.
As are the lock forwards. Here's Burns. Cunningham carried moments ago. Oh, so close. So close. The gap was there. Unfortunately, the ball wasn't there to be snaffled.
Go hands, no, Sarah. No, let it come. The play scrum advantage.
Just the scrum advantage for Harlequins, and Connie Powell
Set.
takes it on for Quins. Oh, Kaylee Powell finds Cromack. She's got that interesting step, hasn't she, Cromack? She's a lot more evasive than she looks, but Bristol Bears deal with her well. Couple of minutes of the half to go. I mean, Quins have gone 15 metres backwards, so quite how that is scrum advantage over. I'll have to ask the referee about that one. But it doesn't. Oh, my goodness me. Mika Elitu pretty much assaulting Ella Lovibon there. Wow. She has got leaden shoulders. But this is good ball movement. This is where the Bears wanted as well. In the hands of Reniqua Bonner, who's stepping, but rarely for her. Not getting around that many defenders. Another offload, gone backwards, didn't go directly into the hands. Emma Orr up over halfway. Again, Bears linking these phases together. Where's the line break? Might be here. Oh, Sarah Byrne. Sarah Byrne. So close. Pena. Doesn't get the bounce for the 50-22, but it's a really good kick. Now, Millie David. Space to run into. Well, it's a good tackle on here. I think Parry actually just lost her footing there. Almost tripped Millie David up, but made the tackle nonetheless. Now, Oh, Bonner does well. Drops it on the toe. Reniqua Bonner chasing her own kick. Cromack coming across. Cromack does so well at 15. Oh, Reniqua Bonner threatening to be brilliant. But the AR's called something in.
Yeah, I thought there might have been a knock-on the floor there. But that was really, really good from Reniqua Bonner. She made that initial break outside Freya Orkin and then had that ball in two hands, which means that she could put that ball on the boot and go up and over.
Well, the AR has called in a penalty to Bristol Bears here. Let's take another look at this. I mean, we said moments ago, didn't we, that Bonner only needs a moment. It's a wonderful fend, and then when this kick goes in, yeah, that's the penalty.
Yeah, so there, Kaylee Powell just gave Reniqua a little bit of a barge, and you're not allowed any obstruction for any chasing a kick, so that's why there's the penalty there.
Time's off.
Let's take another look again.
That's all right. Make sure she's okay.
I think Kaylee Powell would say, but I was just turning. I mean, she knew exactly what she was doing.
I think that's the thing that you know that she was doing, and she was definitely looking back over her shoulder at where Ren was. So, yeah, I think that is probably a penalty.
Isn't it funny how things repeat themselves? That was so close to a try that Lewis Rees-Zammit scored in the men's game against Harlequins. Almost exactly the same situation, exactly the same position.
Yeah, that's a skill that Louis Rees-Zammit is very good at, that kick on the move. And it's a great skill to have for wingers to be able to do at full flight. And that's something that I know that our back three have been working on quite a lot.
Very well executed by Bonner, and it's resulted in this, a penalty in the 22. Perhaps the last opportunity of the half. They ignore the jump, they go straight to the maul, and now it is time for the forwards to go to work. Skeldon's got it in her hands, but Bevan wants it. Now, Jenny Herring moving sideways, moving forwards. Bristol Bears moving towards the line. Our clock is in the red. Little tip to try and create some space for Marsden Mulhern. Bristol Bears in a position that Quins found themselves in a couple of minutes ago. Simi Pam waits for the latch. She's repelled. Cunningham calling for someone to join her. And it's Marsden Mulhern. This feels like a huge moment in the grand scheme of this big day out. Bristol Bears trailing 5 points to 14. The last action of the half to close this score up. They are just coming round the corner with power in every carry. Balogun already got one try. She's going to be the next to go. Oh, that ball's gone backwards. Bevan! Oh, so close, Kira Bevan. In her home stadium today. Burn! Denied by Connie Powell. Conkle goes flying in again. It's still just short. So close. Marsden Mulhern repelled. Quins offside. Bristol Bears with a free shot at it. They're queuing up on the left-hand side. It has to go here for Bristol. Oh, the pass has missed. David would have walked it in. But Lovibon couldn't find the pass. Quins escaped, but how long for?
That's an incredibly frustrating finish to that passage of play. God, I thought Millie was going to walk it in. I think with Ella, just that 1 second earlier, she just needed to pass that ball. Or just back herself and go on the outside and put it down in the corner. But luckily, Bristol have that penalty to go back to.
Look at that quintet of players. Byrne's going to try and do it on her own. Has she done it? Oh, she's been held up. A heroic effort on the line. Tirani was there, Powell was there, and they have denied one of the most lethal carriers in world rugby, Sarah Byrne. So close, but so far.
Yeah, gosh, she's unlucky to get that. I thought she got that then, and Bristol will be disappointed that they couldn't get that score before half-time, because the last 5 minutes has all been in their favour.
Well, the whistle has gone. It is Bristol Bears 5, Harlequins 14 here at the big day out, the Principality Stadium. The crowd getting bigger and bigger. Phoebe, your thoughts on those opening 40 minutes?
Well, it's been quite a breathtaking first half of rugby. I think there's been long passage of plays, there's been those big hits, big carries, and Harlequins just getting on the better side of the scoreboard at the moment. But I think there's some things that both teams are going to go away and chat about that they could do better in this second half. So I think hopefully we're on for a good one.
Well, it certainly looks that way. Bristol Bears 5, Harlequins 14. We're going to be back with all of the highlights. But before that, enjoy some of the best tries from the last round of Premiership Women's Rugby.
New era.
Clodler, Maloney, McDonald.
Just driving through those tackles.
And here comes Maisie Allen, looking to add a 9th try of the season. She's still going, but instead passes it over to Robinson to score just to the left of the posts.
Great try from Exeter. Well executed.
Evie Gallagher. Well, she's not just poaching ball at the breakdown this season, she's getting it back from the restarts, and Smith gets it to Buisa, and Buisa now surging to the line. Nobody is going to stop the Canadian number 8. Just like that, the Bears hit back in a flash. It's a great try from the Bears.
Ella Cromack has come off the bench and onto the field now. And there is Cromack. Winds it up for Pena. Oh, that's a lovely chicken wing offload, and it's away for Wilcock. Wilcock wants to beat. Wilcock absolutely going for the line. What a score! Beth Wilcock with the try for Quins.
And now they can go wide, edge to edge, playing lightning at their own game, and few people taking edge better than Mia Venner, my words! On a pitch sprinkled liberally with lithe predators, it is first blood to Mia Venner. What a start from the circus!
Now Priest straight through, piercing that attacking line. And this seems a little bit too easy for Chiefs at the moment. Finding it easy in the loose. There's Menin. Wall, pink scrum cap.
It looks brand new today. It's neon, I think.
Oh, the beautiful offload.
offload.
And here comes Buchanan down that right wing. Bitter to beat, but down for the bonus point. Inside 24 minutes, it is the Chiefs with their 4th.
George. Working hard.
Thank you.
Carrying hard. Someone's lost the boot in all of that, but there are much bigger things at stake. Venner would love to have the last say in this one. She just sets off. She just glides. She just glides, Mia Venner. Eventually stopped, but the Circus have a winning streak. They want to defend, and they will not give it up without a fight. End to end they go, and it's Hurd. There is nothing quite like a Sunday at the Circus.
Yeah, of course.
These are the final few moments of the game. Again, Exeter with their attacking platform. They will make one to add a 7th try. Nye with quick ball, and they're breaking free down the left. Allen, here she goes cutting free, gets the offload away, and there will be a cherry on the top of the cake for Exeter Chiefs in the corner. Zoe Dare, young, promising talent for Exeter Chiefs, hanging out on that edge. Beautiful work from Allen to set her free. Fantastic offload with the chicken wing pass. To Dare is to do.
New era.
Those are some of the best tries from last week. Let's take a look at some of the best action from today then. 3 tries to talk you through. We're not going to be able to go through all of the bone-rattling hits because they were too many. But in a big home game like this, on a big occasion, Phoebe, this is exactly the start you wanted. The set piece, the try, the dominance, and ultimately the points on the board.
Yeah, this was a great first try for Bristol, and quick thinking from Christiana Balogun to get over the line. And I think the set piece is something that Bristol rely on quite heavily. They've got a very strong scrum that we've seen with the dominance of the front row, and our line out as well. Pinpoint balls from Lana, and good set piece from the forwards to get over there.
It was the perfect start. The conversion was missed. It took Quins a little while to click, but when they did, this is what they came up with. And a great finish here from Beth Wilcock, who's in really good form.
Yeah, she had some work to do there with a couple of defenders to beat, but you know, she's a strong carrier, she's a fast carrier. She went flying down that wing when she had her opportunity. Yeah, we saw in the tries of the week moments ago from last week, it was a very similar finish at the stoop. If you give her the outside, she is not scared to take it. And that was Quinn's first points on the board, taking it as close to the post as she could, despite Renique Bonner's efforts. That was converted, and then, I mean, thank goodness that tackle made the highlights, because it was a great line from Parry, and that's what England will be hoping to see if she's given her opportunity. But ultimately, too many big carries, too much pressure, and defending your line for phase after phase, it is a thankless task, and Aoife Wafer was eventually the recipient of 5 points. And that brings us to half-time. It is Harlequins 14, Bristol Bears 5. Casting our eyes out here over the Principality Stadium. This is a spectacular rugby vista, isn't it? It is. It's, you know, a stadium in the history books, and especially when the roof's on. You've got no idea what's going on in the outside world, and you're just locked into a game of rugby for the afternoon. It's great.
Well, not one, but 2, and we'll get to enjoy them both. You'll get to enjoy them with us. Of course, all 4 games available for you to watch in Premiership Women's Rugby. So what has to change here for the Bristol Bears? As a Bristol Bears player, you've even worn your stash. Thank you very much. They're very much in this game. What are the kind of the little 50-50s that need to become 60-40s for Bristol to get back into this?
I think there's been a couple of inaccuracies when getting that last pass to the wingers, and actually I'd love us to preserve the space for our wingers a little bit better. I think we're trying to play expansive rugby, but by the time we get the balls to the wing, they've got no space for them, and we're lucky that Renique Bonner is as strong as she is. But yeah, it's nice to see that there's so many Bears fans that have made the trip over the bridge to come and having a nice little boogie. I
actually owe you an apology, because in getting you to do this co-commentary with me, I've taken you away from the Bristol Bears dance team, so hopefully I can make it up to you at some point.
I mean, with my dancing talent, that's probably for the best.
Oh, I absolutely love this. Well, a little bit later on, Wales and British and Irish Lions legend Josh Navidi is going to be DJing. I've given him the nickname Navici, but I'm not sure it's going to stick. But the Bristol Bears dance team are going to be joining him. I think there's about 300 youngsters that are going to be out there on the pitch, so that's going to be something to look forward to. Let's talk about the bigger occasion then afterwards, because we've got the second half coming up. We will be back after this.
Bristol Bears are winning the Prem. Come on, Bears! Bristol as a city absolutely loves rugby. They're passionate.
I love the uniqueness, I love the ambition, and I love the drive to succeed.
There's loads of skill on show. We take risks.
It's all about power, passion, being celebrated for who you are and inspiring other people to do the same.
Players to look out for: Sarah Byrne, Millie David and Renique Bonner.
We want to grow the women's game. We're excited about it. We've got amazing people in place to help us to do so. So if you want to be entertained, get down to Ashton Gate.
It's a club deep in history and culture. We are Harlequins. We fear no one.
The culture we've got as a team is really special.
Harlequins aim, we want to be in the final. I want to run over people. We want to be entertaining. We want to be physical.
We love being a London club. We want to impress the fans.
They'll be there cheering us on, singing the "We Come On You Quins" chant. Players to watch out for, obviously Kelly Kildan.
Of course it's Kildan!
We've also got new recruits like Aoife Wafer. She's an absolute bulldozer.
Hopefully I can bring the same attributes that the whole team have in being brave, physical and entertaining.
New era.
Thank you so much, TJK. She's absolutely phenomenal. Getting the party started here at fantastic, and hopefully we'll see you back out there very soon. Now, quick scoreline going into half time. They're still very much within the game, aren't they? Is this what you expected from the first half here? I think we knew we were going to be up for this. It's a great pressure from both sides. I mean, such a close game. We knew this was going to be a competitive game. I think our physicality, the strength, are definitely right. I think we need to just up that and continue to press forward, like we said, in those games. So we just need to really put it on now. What do you think is what we sort of saying to the players at half time to sort of bring that second half? Yeah, I think like what we said, the physicality is a huge thing. Once we get that one, quicker experience from both sides of the ball. Fantastic. Now, this is an incredible occasion, isn't it? Playing in a world-class stadium like this, the lights, the fire, the whole atmosphere of it. There's an element of just being able to enjoy an occasion like this, isn't there? Yeah, I think it makes the energy just more from the whole crowd. Obviously, like we're in summer, parents, we have some injury returns. Like, it's just such a special day. So we Louis' last game against Sure for a little while, so I think we're just taking a lift, but making sure we get the job done. We're really going to miss it, aren't we? Yeah, that's an understatement. I think it's been an emotional week for a lot of people. Absolutely. Well, hopefully they can bring all that in, they can bring that into that second half. And I think our message just for the fans, we want to hear more from them, don't we, in the second half? Yeah, absolutely. Like, thank you for being here. Showing us one thing, but now we're learning, so let me try to raise the roof a little bit. Well, there you go. There's fans. You heard it. Let's raise this roof.
Welcome back to the Principality Stadium and Bristol Bears' big day out. We are kicking off round 16 of Premiership Women's Rugby. It's actually Harlequins' penultimate game of the season because they've got a bye week the last week, so they have to win this game. They have to beat Leicester Tigers, otherwise the playoffs looking incredibly unlikely. But as for Bristol Bears, Phoebe, with playoffs out of the question, what are the objectives between now and the end of the season?
I think just to continue the trajectory that we started since December. I think we've been getting better game on game and just finding a bit more of ourselves again. So I think just finishing the season on a high and where, you know, we're happy with our performances and continuing upwards.
Harlequins at 14, Bristol Bears 5. The second half is underway. Bristol Bears receiving the kickoff. So close to getting their second try just before half-time. Oh, that is incredible work over the ball by Michaele Tu'u. This is her final game in a Harlequins jersey, and she is leaving it all out there, isn't she?
Yeah, she's had some fantastic involvements, whether that's been the turnovers, the tackles, the carries. She's been everywhere.
So it's Quins who'll have the first real opportunity in the 22. Ella Cromack, it's, let's say, a safe touch. She hasn't really gambled. Saw a statistic that I really should write down about how much more likely you are to score from a 5-metre line out compared to a 10-metre line out.
I could definitely believe that. It doesn't look like much, but 5 metres is quite a lot when it comes to a maul.
Oh, there was a challenge on that ball, but Svoboda goes up and it starts to move forward. Connie Powell takes control, but Balogun has got through. Has she pinched it? Has Balogun pinched that ball? There are Bears' hands on it. It is a maul. And they'll have to put in the scrum. Fantastic work, firstly, from Christiana Balogun to wade through there. And then Cunningham to add the finishing touch.
Yeah, you can see here Holly's just got onto Aoife Wafer there and just taken it to floor. And since it's a maul, that's contestable. So if Quins can't get the ball out, then that's turnover ball.
So there are a number of things that World Rugby put in place to make sure that that contest is alive. One of them is when the player goes up to catch the ball, when they're lifted, when they go down, there cannot be another attacking player between the ball and the defenders because that prevents that contest. And every now and then it is a massive contest. People say the maul is undefendable. That is an example of why it is defendable. So Quinn's first opportunity of the second half gone. Bristol Bears, well, we're leaving that one in to try and win the penalty, but it was a more solid scrum from from Harlequins, and Marston Mulhern with a good carry. There's absolutely no one back there for Quins. Beth Wilcock had stayed high, and that is a huge clearance kick as a result.
Yeah, that was a great exit for Bristol, first with a great carry from Renita out the back of the base of that scrum. And yeah, I'm not sure what was going on in the backfield there of Quins, but Dumont managed to find that space and move Bristol up the field.
Second line out of the half for Powell. Another contest for it. These are good darts from Connie Powell. Pena with that pump pass. Wilcock gets past Merrill Smith, but then is met by Dumont and co. Powell to the line, into Sarah Byrne. Pena in at first receiver. A little bit more passive from Bristol Bears in defence in this half, and they need to be careful because the likes of Beth Wilcock certainly capable of breaking the line. Parry gets her head down. Again, Bevan, it's like she's trying to start a chainsaw out of the tackle, and she's always trying to rip the ball. Michaele Tu'u. Good period of possession this for Harlequins, but where is the space? Is it for Aoife Wafer? Old school number 8 out there on the edge, straight into Bonner, who does so well. Reniqua Bonner throws her into touch like a bouncer in a nightclub.
Yeah, that was fantastic then. That was Aoife away for full flight down the wing, and that's something I would not want to tackle. So, yeah, Renika did really well there. She came up. She went a little bit high initially, so I thought she might have been speed bump, but Meryl, her mate, came in and Renika just managed to drag her out, which is some great defence.
So Aoife Wafer's argument there is that she's put her knee down, so she believed she was tackled, and the referee said nope. Coming up to the first 5 minutes of the second half gone. Not a lot for Bristol Bears to celebrate attacking-wise, but they've defended their 22 well, and they've made some good tackles. Oh, and Kaylee Powell just lost her footing, but sold a dummy that sold half of the Bristol Bears. Wafer. Cromack, bouncing ball, cleaned up by Fee McIntosh. And Jade Conkle there with a good clear out, gets rid of Smith, who jogs back into position. This is a nice ball. Parry out of the back door. Has it gone forward? I think that's being called in by the AR, but it's back in Bristol's hands anyway. The two centres just trying to be a little bit too cute and coughing up possession. Smith has a little look here and likes what she sees. Smith now, Bonner goes round the outside and gets drilled into touch by Kaylee Powell. There's a lot of action happening over on that far side.
There is. That was a little glimpse of what Renika can do, and actually Kaylee Powell did fantastic then. That was a great textbook tackle. And you see Kaylee here again with the dummy. She's got a great set of skills and she's got a good step on her. But yeah, that was a fantastic tackle from Kaylee here. But it's a bit of a shame. I think that's the first glimpse of Bristol that we've seen in this half, definitely.
We're so used to it with the high quality wingers like Bonner there, but just the balance. There was a little ankle tap there. Normal humans fall over when that happens, but not first class wingers. Cromack, great line by Wilcock, but the tackle made. Smith had to have her wits about it. Parry, Millie David leaving the shoulder in on Powell. Super physical. Connie Powell. Penalty advantage. It's another one of those rolling away penalties that frustrate teams so much. Good hands by Parry. Now Freya Orkin out there on the left. Seen more as a back three player now. Orkin started a young Quins career as a scrum half, but attacks space very well. Quinn still with the penalty advantage. Side to side, edge to edge, and Kaylee Powell starting to have a nice time out there. Tarani offload around the corner. Lucy Burgess. Well, pretty much back where we started after 3 or 4 phases.
Yeah, there's been a lot of period of plays in the middle of this pitch, hasn't there?
This is what the penalty was for. Michaela Tutu knows exactly what she's doing there, doesn't she? Just as she goes in, it's just that little knee on a body part, isn't it?
Yeah, that's something subtle that I've noticed Quins have done or started to do. They're either trying to take Bristol players past the breakdown to take them out of the game, or trying to trap them in there. It just means that there's less players from the Bristol side on their feet, and making that more of a contest against kind of 13, 12 players rather than 15.
Connie Powell, she's up to 40 Quins appearances, and it feels as though she left Gloucester Hartpury about 5 minutes ago. The game just moves so quickly. But the overthrown line out means Bears can attack from deep, and Bonnet can have another go. And seems to have, and you can tell us about this because you'll have done a lot of tackling practice against her, like this explosive power that once you think you've snagged her, she seems like she can bounce out or do something or win the collision in a quite unorthodox way.
Yeah, she's very strong in that first 5 meters of acceleration. She's got an incredibly good fend. You can see that Freya Orkin there just lowered her tackle height from in that first half, where she missed that tackle on Renika, where she got that break. So yeah, I think Freya adjusted her height there.
Well, the cheers you can hear is because in the stadium they've got Simba Cam, where a couple of parents who've brought the youngsters, the babies, are being held up like a young Simba. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, have I got a film to show you? Right, Bears turn it over. Quinn's line out faltering, and Millie David, there's a bit of outside space for her here, but she checks back in. She's lost that ball, and now it's another bun fight for it. Given the fact that the pitch is in perfect condition, we've not had any rain by virtue of the fact that it's sunny and the roof is on. We've had a lot of those real battles for the ball on the floor, haven't we? I mean, the Harlequins perhaps had the best practice for that with their Sale Sharks game a couple of weeks ago. That was one of the defeats in this run of 5 that they are desperate to get away from. Now Sarah Byrne, speaking of getting away, she takes it over halfway. Bevan was on that cheat line. The ball's gone backwards. Is there a finer sight in Premiership Women's Rugby than Sarah Byrne on the rampage? Penalty advantage. 10 hard minutes of PWR arm wrestling. Balogun knocks that on. Mikaeli Tu'u with the high tackle, and Bristol Bears with a chance to kick into the Quins 22.
Yeah, that was a really nice passage of play of keeping the ball alive. Firstly with Emma Orr to Sarah Byrne, and that fend. Yeah, she's a strong runner. And then she just finds Kira Bevan here, and the momentum was with Bristol.
That fend in the chest must feel like being hit by a defibrillator.
I think you could be right.
Straight to Smith, loves a crash ball. She's brought down by Aoife Wafer, who gets round and gets hands on it. Wafer, oh, the referee says no. Oh, Wafer. Can she feel hard done by there? No, it's well explained by our referee. But she gave it a good go. Let's see if we can see these elbows on the floor now. How good is Meryl Smith in these situations, by the way?
Yeah, she's so good. She's really come into her own coming back from injury, and it's like she never left.
Bristol Bears 5, Harlequins 14. No points yet in the second half. Quins have had opportunities in the 22. Bears have defended them well. Now they've got a great chance. Demant stood in the boot. She's got Bonner behind her. Everyone else open. But there is space down the short side if they fancy it. This feels like a big moment.
Definitely, I think this is the first entry for Bristol Bears into the Quins 22, and they've opted for that scrum because they know it's a strength of theirs. They've got that strong front row, and they've had penalties previously in this game, so it'll be good for them to get a good platform and see what they can do.
Kira Bevan just having a chat with Demant. They realise that opportunities have been few and far between, and they want to capitalise on this because it really is a golden one. Penalty advantage from the scrum. Bristol Bears, best opportunity of the half. Smith kicks it in behind. It's a race for the ball. It is a race that is won by the Bristol Bears. All the first to react, executed perfectly, and Bristol Bears back in business.
That was a really nice set piece move from Bristol, and they had that penalty advantage in the pocket, but that was a really great kick from Merrill that hopefully we'll just see in this replay here. Just up and over that top. I think no one expected that from Bristol. And Emma, with her long limbs, was able to get on that ball first. We had a bit of a display of a nice forward roll there as well.
Unfortunately, you don't get bonus points for sticking the landing, but if you do, there we go. I think she should make that the trademark celebration now.
Yeah, that was nice, that. I would have liked to have seen it finish with maybe some arms in the air.
Conversion added. 2-point game. Bristol Bears 12, Harlequins 14. Let's take another look at this. Strike move on the first phase. Perfection. Sometimes you need the bounce of the ball, but it's almost like the rugby gods know that they need to reward a little bit of flair sometimes. Bristol Bears keep the ball on the field. Ella Cromack with the carry. Mikaele Tu'u brought down by Tu'u, Bristol Bears defenders. Svoboda doesn't get round the outside. Is there any space here for Freya Orkin? No, good strength from Smith, and the counter ruck as well. Great strength from Smith. And Bristol Bears threatening to cut loose. That centre partnership, Smith and Orr, starting to purr. Again, Simi Pam in at first receiver, where she loves it. Kira Bevan, great ball into space. That ball not of the same quality as the Bevan one before.
Unfortunately not, no. I think Jenny just rushed that pass a little bit. I think she had the pressure of Beth Wilcock in her eye line and just rushed that pass, so that's an unfortunate one.
I mean, that ball absolutely drilled in. But it was a chance to get the ball in Millie David's hands. There've not been nearly enough of those from a Bristol Bears perspective. Harlequins in exactly no rush to get this line-out completed. Short numbers in it, 5. Oh, good ball, but then there was a little bit of interference from Bristol Bears. They got in the eye line of Mikaele Tu'u. That's so close. So close. Kira Bevan's vision nearly releasing Millie David.
Yeah, you can see what they were trying to do there. That's another line out where it's not gone quite right for Quins. And then here you could just see that Connie Powell's the only one on that edge, and you can see what she's trying to do, put Millie down there, but unfortunately just a little bit too wide.
Some changes coming for Harlequins then. They're rolling the entire front row and Svoboda. So Turani, Powell and Hanlon off. They'll be replaced by Caris Phillips at hooker, Jessie Spuria at 17 and Laura Delgado. Interestingly, both Harlequins men and women have got a Delgado at 18 and a Grant at 22 today.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a fun fact.
It is a fun fact. Pedro Delgado covering the tight head for Quins men, and Jack Grant, who is a Southern Hemisphere emergency scrum half they've brought over. It's Corinne Grant wearing 22 for Harlequins women. And they're bringing these new forwards straight in to a line-up. Not always a great move. It's Danelle Lochner who's come on to replace Svoboda, by the way. So that'll probably see Conkle go into the back row. And a change for Bristol Bears as well in the back row. So plenty of energy. 23 minutes of this game to go. Bristol Bears, when they get a spring in their step, they are a very, very difficult team to contain. That was Spuria making the tackle in 17. Bevan, options left and options right. She decides to go back into the heavy traffic with Delaney Burns. Little nudge in behind by Demant. Cromack, quickest to react, turns one way then the other. She's inside the 22, so she can bang this into touch. That's actually a great exit. Oh no, the ref's saying brought it back in. Well, what looks like a great exit is anything but.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there, because I actually thought Ella Cromack did incredibly well to be able to get the ball away. But a good platform for Bears here.
Isn't it just? And Smith again, who's starting to have much more of a say, especially in these built-up areas, to get Bristol Bears into the red zone. Oh, great tackle, Wafer.
Hold on.
And Quins win the penalty, so now they will have the opportunity to clear the lines through Cromac. So we're going to have a look at exactly what Ella Cromac did to Yes. She took the ball outside. Lovely little bit of balance there with Jenny Herring putting her under pressure, but she's inside the 22. She looks up, but you can't carry the ball back over the 22. So a tough beat there for Ella Cromac.
Yeah, that is tough, but now you watch it back, it does make sense.
Talk to me about Pam and the energy that she brings to this team.
Yeah, she is an incredible athlete. I think coming over from sevens, she's incredibly strong, fast, and she's a great ball carrier. As you can see, her first touch of the ball, she made about 20 metres up the middle of the field. So yeah, she's been a great person to have, and she's a really nice person as well, and incredibly good at juggling.
Oh, is she? That sounds like something I want to see on socials. Confirmation of the replacements then for Harlequins in the front row. They're back on the ball in the Bristol Bears half. Cromac spending a bit more time in the front row.
First one was back, second one forward.
Question. If the first one was back and the second one was forward, is Laura Delgado then offside? So that one's gone back, this one's gone forward, Delgado picks it up.
I think you could technically be right, because I think it's forward off Pena, and then technically Delgado is offside, so it is a penalty.
Okay,
you should be a ref.
Absolutely not, never ever. How I thought we were getting on, how dare you? Let's just take another look here. So the referee said the first one has gone backwards.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay up here, stay up this side.
Well, it is Lochner who's gone on to the open side flank. So it was a like for like with Svoboda. And then Buisa, who's in at number 8 now. And Bonner.
No hands.
Handled well by Freya Orkin. Another penalty here. So a few tired bodies for both sides, giving away penalties at the breakdown.
Not you, tackler's got to roll first.
But again, no surprise that there is a bit of fatigue out there, because a lot of ball in play, huge physicality, and that drains the battery pretty quickly.
It does, but then that's what you've got your bench for. So I think if I was the coaches, I'd potentially be looking at bringing a couple of players on just to raise that energy a little bit.
So Phillips on, Spurrier on, Delgado on, Lochner on. Just the one change for Bristol Bears at the moment in the back row. They've got a lot of energy, a lot of quality to bring on as well. The maul is an area of the game that has been going well for the Bristol Bears. That one a little bit messy, and they've just done well to present that ball. Very often we see teams leave it in for a little bit long and get turned over. Pam. Oh, met well by Mikaeli Tu'u. Skeldon. Big clear out. Big clear out there on Jade Conkle, who taps Emma Orr on the back and says, good job.
I think Jade Conkle is possibly one of the nicest humans on the planet, so that doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
Well, her illustrious career coming to an end. She'll finish at the end of this season. An emotional time, an emotional announcement as well. She's had a great period as Harlequins captain, and I know she's thought of incredibly highly in southwest London. Balogun. Seems like a long time ago she scored that opening try. But Bristol Bears will feel as though they've got a great chance here, and they certainly have, with Emma Orr, who steps and swipes and scores! What a finish from Emma Orr to give Bristol Bears the lead. Try number 2 of the day, and that one might be even better than the first.
Yeah, I think that just shows what Emma can do. Her finishing skills are exceptional. We'll see on the replay that initial line that she ran here off Kira Bevan, off Merrill, that 12-13 axis working really well. and just keeping that ball in two hands, staying on her feet and just making that finish. Incredible work from Emma.
Well deserved as well. Bristol Bears have built their way into this second half. They've taken a narrow lead and they've scored 2 spectacular tries, but it is a lead that has been built on patient and rugged defence. Important kick, Kira Bevan. The flag stay down.
Yeah, unfortunately just to the left of the posts. I think we could have done with those 2 points.
Oh, let's take another look at this finish then. Emma Orr hits a great line. Quinn's a little bit disconnected.
That was a really nice blind pass from Meryl Smith there. Really hard to defend.
The Harlequins have got some experience on the bench. Emma Swords feels like she's been around for a long time, whether it's been Quins or Saracens or Trail Finders. She's been in some international camps as well. Spent a little bit of time in the Wales camp, actually, here in Cardiff. She's come on at scrum half for Lucy Burgess. She's an excellent game manager, and Harlequins need some game management here because they've not been in a good spot, and when they have been, they've not been able to take advantage of it. So Jenny Hesketh has come on. I stand corrected. It came up on the screen, but who has come on?
I think it's Demelza Short that's come on for Jenny Herring.
I did think that was an odd substitution.
So did I, which is why I questioned it.
Turnover ball here. Bonner. Byrne against Micheletti Tutu. I could watch that all day, but I'm not sure either's bodies would hold up to doing it all day because they've absolutely bashed and clattered into each other. And look at this Bears team starting to purr now. David held onto by Sarah Parry. Pam into the big lock forward, Fee McIntosh. Demant. Oh, just takes it to the line. She's got a big frame, hasn't she? She's so difficult to bring down. Oh, what a tackle. That is Pena chopping down on Meryl Smith, and then the turnover. She looks quite diminutive, Claudia Pena, but she packs a punch.
Yeah, she is one of Quinn's strongest players, definitely. She is a great chop tackle.
Cool. Bit of territory, and that's a really good kick as well. Takes them into the 22. Not deep into the 22, but certainly gives them the opportunity to do something. So confirmation, it is Jenny Herring off. We knew that. It is Demelza Short on. Another one will be hoping for a future in the Red Rose as well. Extremely talented young player.
She is. She actually really reminds me of a Henry Pollock. She just absolutely just has the best time and just enjoys herself.
Quins into the 22. Caris Phillips, Welsh hooker in the black and red scrum cap. Staying bound. And Quins moving forward, doing some excellent work here. The ball has taken them to what, 6-7 metres out. Swords waiting for it. She's got options outside her, and now it's in the hands of Emma Swords. They go out of the back. They want to go wide early on here, or do they? No, Cromack gets held on to. Emma Orr, the double try scorer, makes an important tackle. Phillips. Another good tackle on her. Oh, another heavy carry by Micheletti Tutu. Laura Delgado. Swords round the corner go Quinn. Spurrier, the line in sight. Bristol Bears get their own back. Held the ball up just as Quins did before half-time to keep a narrow lead.
Yeah, that was great work from Holly Cunningham and Millie David. You can just see here that they both get under the ball and roll the Quins player onto their back and get under the ball.
Cromack. Great oh my goodness, what a tackle. And that ball squeezes and then forward.
There's a good rip, then she's lost it forward.
Well, Bristol Bears just in the ascendancy now. Not quite yet, but very soon I'll be asking you for your nominations for the Built for Athletes Player of the Match, Phoebe. Once we have those nominations, you watching, I'm always tempted to say watching at home, but you could be watching on the move anywhere around the world. TV, laptop, tablet, phone, whatever. You are going to be able to vote for the Built for Athletes Player of the Match. I don't envy you with your nominations here because the game is in the balance.
It is in the balance, and I'm hoping that my choice of 3 Bears players is going to stick because they'll get the win.
3 Bears, right, well don't tell us who they are yet. We'll give you a couple of minutes and then it'll be fastest finger first. But Harlequins here, great attacking position, right on the 22, right in the middle of the pitch. 2 players in the boot, Kaylee Powell and Ella Cromack, so the playmakers can split off either way. And then to the right of the scrum, they've got Sarah Parry and the try scorer Beth Wilcock. To the left, they've got Claudia Pena and Freya Orkin. And Bears have, well, I say they've split the defence 3 and 3. They've got 2 to their right of the scrum, Quins left, and then 3 to the left with the fullback sweeping, and then Kira Bevan has got the decision to make. Which way does she go?
Sounds like a complicated maths equation.
Yes, it does, it does. And I'm a commentator and you're a doctor, so I'm going to trust your maths a lot more than mine. First job, though, secure the scrum. Good hands from Aoife Wafer. But look at that tackle, look at that effort from Buisa to drive back one of the best ball carriers in world rugby. She's back at it again, trying to strip that ball, and she has. She has picked Jade Conkle's pocket. Now Millie David has it out on the edge, swipes past the first and the second defender. Oh, she's just knocked it on in contact.
You've gone down with her, you've got to release.
Oh. So here is the steal. You talked about her athleticism and physicality.
Yeah, it's something that Pam's very good at. She's very good at being that higher tackler and doing the chop and stealing the ball. And you just see a little glimpse of the first time I think Millie's been released in this game, and that's a little glimpse of what she can do. Right
then, before this line-out goes in, let's have your nominations for the Built for Athletes Player of the Match today.
So from the Bristol team, I have gone number 6, Christiana Balogun. I think she's been exceptional today with her line-out turnovers, her tackles and some good carries in there. And I think you can't look past Meryl Smith at 12 and Emma Orr at 13. I think both of them have been fantastic today in that centre axis. And then from the Quins side, Liana Michaela Tu'u, I think, has been absolutely everywhere.
Another big ball carry from Sarah Burns. So yes, the vote is now live. You're watching on YouTube. There will be a poll comes up, and you vote for the Built for Athletes Player of the Match. We've got Christiana Balogun, Bristol Bears number 6. We've got Bristol Bears number 12, Meryl Smith. Bristol Bears number 13, the double try scorer Emma Orr, and the sole representative for Harlequins, Michaela Tu'u, on her final appearance in a Quins jersey. We will announce the player of the match at full time, and if you check the socials, then you will see the interview with that player of the match and their prize, the Built for Athletes backpack. Thank you to our partners. Quite a good backpack, actually.
It is. I'm very jealous. I've always wanted one of those backpacks.
Well, next season you'll have to get fit and you will have to win a player of the match.
That's the goal.
Keep that bind up all the way through. Okay, the ball's away, but make sure you keep the bind up. Thanks for being with us this afternoon for this weekly fixture
6 minutes to go. 6 minutes for Harlequins to save their season. 6 minutes for Harlequins to avoid 6 defeats in a row. And I think they have been largely second best in this second half.
Crouch. Bind.
If you want to talk rugby cliches, this very much has a feel of next try wins, doesn't it?
It does. I'm holding my breath.
Well, don't do that. There's 6 minutes to go. You'll never survive. Another pump pass from Pena. Kaylee Powell manages to get that offload away. Didn't get the space she wanted. And Ella Cromack presents that ball. Oh, Hawkins off her wing, and she's been drilled and ripped on and knocked on by Emma Orr. I'll tell you what, if that have stuck, who'd have bet against her going in for the hat-trick? There was no one at home for Harlequins. And Bristol Bears, I think it's fair to say, they're winning every facet of the game at the moment. The physicality.
Yeah, I think the physicality is actually something that we spoke about during this week that need to be better. I think we lacked it against Sale last week and was one of the reasons why we did lose. So it's good to see that that change has been made today.
Well, Emma Orr is currently leading the poll for the Built for Athletes Player of the Match. Tell you what, if you get a brace of tries at the Principality Stadium, then I don't think anyone would complain if she won it. But if you think it should be Mikaeli Tu'u, Balogun or Smith, then you've got a few minutes to get your votes in. Does she owe you any favours? Do you owe her any favours?
Do I owe her any favours?
Do you owe her any favours,
I
Emma?
don't think so, no.
Does she owe you a backpack, perhaps?
I think with the amount of player matches that she gets, yes.
Bouncing ball picked up by Pena. Little stutter step, and now Cromack up over halfway. Quins aren't going to have too many more opportunities. Swords, Wafer, again, just dealt with and dumped down. Huge defensive commitment here from these women in blue, but a good line by Wilcott, pumping the legs, perhaps realising that season hangs in the balance. That ball's gone backwards, but it's so messy from Quins. And Parry, well, it takes 3 back rowers to bring it down, but eventually they do. Swords, Conkle, Mikaeli Tu'u. Again, she's driven backwards. This is the effort level that Bristol Bears are putting in. They've taken Harlequins all the way back to the halfway line. And Balogun, she has emptied the tank for the cause today. Pena, well, the sidestep's so good, she nearly did herself. Freya Orkin. I mean, it's possession for Quins until it isn't. I was going to say it's possession for Quins, but it's in the middle of the pitch and it's not going anywhere. And Jade Conkle, unless something changes, unless something drastic changes, this is going to be the penultimate game of her career.
It is. She's one of those. She's been an absolute frontier for both Scotland and the clubs that she's played for. And she's left the shirt definitely in a better place. So I think we'll be sad to see her go, but I think her body might be looking forward to a little bit of rest.
Although a career in the fire service, that's probably not the kindest on you physically, is it? She is a glutton for punishment, but a wonderful ambassador for the game of rugby union. And she will certainly be missed at Harlequins and at Scotland. Right then, the clock is stopped. We've got it with just over 2 minutes to go. Remember, we are not linked in with the referees' watch entirely. It is pretty close, so our clock says 77:43. The clock in the stadium says 76:12. We don't know what it says on the referees' watch. But what we do know is it's Bristol Bears 17, Harlequins 14. Quins yet to score in the second half. It's actually been a great game, hasn't it? Proper PWR arm wrestle.
It has. It's been close throughout the entire game, and even as we go into the last couple of minutes, it's still incredibly tight, and I'm still on the absolute edge of my seat.
Bears put in. Oh, the temptation to just see the game out here must be so high, but they can't stop playing, Bristol, can they? And of course there is a bonus point up for grabs. I mean, Loughborough Lightning are still playoff contenders, but catching them and leapfrogging them into 7th place, not out of the question. Oh, here we go. The Bristol Bears scrum is rampant. Big celebrations there from Delaney Burns. And this will make the 100th cap party even better if they can hold on here.
Yeah, breathe a big sigh of relief there. Just get further down into the Quins 22 and make me feel a little bit better.
Demont. Finds touch. She's got about 2 minutes left in a Bristol Bears jersey. And as I've said that, your face has gone all sad.
Yeah, there's a sad day. But hopefully we can send her off in style.
Balogun goes up, one of the Built for Athletes player of the match contenders. Bristol Bears into the 22 they go. It's in the hands of Skeldon. The clock against Harlequins, the scoreboard against Harlequins. Their season nearly over, and it'll be over here if Meryl Smith continues to cause this kind of damage. Bevan, oh, short ball, massive shot from Wafer, forces the knock on, and Quins will have one last chance, but they'll have to do it from inside their 22.
And they'll have to go up against Bristol scrum, which has been very strong the last couple of scrums.
What? I mean, collision is a word that we've used a lot today, but there's no other word you can use to describe that. Maisie Davis on the loose head side. She spends most of her time here in Cardiff as a student at Cardiff Met, but making her way in the game. Very, very talented young loose head prop going up against the experience of Bimba. Laura Delgado, Spanish international, PWR winner with Gloucester Hartbury before making the journey to southwest London. Oh, Bristol going after the scrum, but Wafer in reverse, carrying, offloading, parry, looking, finding Pena. Pena with pace. Wanted to offload it herself, but sensibly held on. Our clock is red. We don't know what the referee's watch saying, but we do know that while the ball is live, Harlequins have a chance. They've got an advantage here, but they've got 60 metres to go. Penalty advantage. Smith can't rip the ball from Fee McIntosh. Still with the penalty advantage. But I think even the clock in the stadium has gone to 80 minutes now. So if they do get the penalty, if they do kick to touch, it will be the last play of the game. I think the referee giving Quins every opportunity here. Swords still on advantage. Mikaeli Tu'u bludgeoning forward. Now Cromack in at first receiver. Pena always looks so lively. Lovely hands from Pena. Mikaeli Tu'u. What a carry from her. The Kiwi still going. That's the 22 in sight for Harlequins. Bristol Bears. Alarm bells not ringing yet, but they're ready to smash the glass in case of emergency. Caris Phillips goes forward. Penalty. Holly Cunningham. Delaney Burns involved. They're celebrating the victory. Was she in at the side? Does it matter? A famous victory for Bristol Bears. Exercising the ghosts of Twickenham, they've turned it around in 2026. The big day out has started with a big bang and a big victory. Harlequins' season is all but over. Bristol Bears have ruined their party, but I've got a feeling they're going to have a great party of their own tonight. A brace of tries in the second half from Emma Orr. They've turned over a 2-score lead. It's all smiles in Bear Country. Full time here at the Principality. Bristol Bears 17, Harlequins 14. Phoebe Murray, your thoughts, please.
God, I have to compose myself a bit there. Yeah, God, I'm so happy that they won that game. And yeah, what a game to display a bit of women's rugby. I think that was a contest up until literally the last second when Holly Cunningham got that turnover. So yeah, that was a great game.
We can now announce the Built for Athletes player of the match. 2 second half tries to turn the game around. Emma Orr, a phenomenal performance from her. Well, the first was a lovely assist. Meryl Smith, the kick. The second, she made herself absolutely incredible. You can see Reece Oakley down there, giant of a man, part of the coaching staff here.
I think there's also another part of Emma's game that goes sometimes a bit unnoticed, but her defence is incredible. Her tackling, her chop tackle, she's got one of the best chop tackles in the league in my opinion, so yeah, that doesn't go unnoticed.
Right then, take a breath. It's another 1-score game that Harlequins are on the losing end of, just like Trailfinders a week ago. Tiny margins. Well, let's take a look at the highlights then. Let's take it right back to the beginning, the first attack of the first half. And Bristol Bears, I mean, the set piece, the maul, the scrum was a kind friend to them all game, and that was the ideal start here.
Yeah, that was a great start from the forwards of Bristol, getting that driving maul, and then Christiana getting the quick thinking ahead of Quins and just dotting that ball over the line.
Well, big celebrations. If Bristol Bears thought they were going to kick on and pull away after that, they had another thing come in, because Harlequins took a while, but they did find a gear on the outside, and it was Beth Wilcock again, just getting around Millie David. God, we had some really good finishes today. It wasn't a game full of tries, but the tries we did get were excellent.
Yeah, and it was incredibly back and forth, and a mixture of like we saw the first try, forwards doing their bit, and then like here, Beth Wilcock, the backs doing their bit too.
Well, that gave Harlequins the lead thanks to Ella Cromack's boots. And then Quinn's got a little bit of momentum. This tackle again from Sarah Byrne, the try scorer on Sarah Parr. I could watch that all day, but there were plenty of big trucks out there today. That was Jade Conkle who was denied, but Aoife Wafer would not be. And we talk about the impossible situations. It's that leg there, isn't it? You could always see Sarah Byrne trying to pull it out the way. And then there was, just before half-time, there was a ball held up just as Bears thought they could close the gap. And at that point, I think Quins would have been relatively pleased, but Bears will have known that they had a great chance here. But sometimes you need a game breaker, a little bit of magic, and that is what Smith and Orr gave us.
Yeah, I think that try was the turn in momentum that Bristol needed. I think the second half was all about them. And that spectacular display from Emma there with a round of a little forward roll to finish it off.
And this was the moment that eventually became the winning moment. Oh, do you know what? The finish is incredible. There is a bump, there is a dummy, there is a fend. But what about the supply from Smith?
Yeah, I think that's what Meryl Smith does so well, that blind pass. And that access between 12 and 13 is so crucial that Meryl knew exactly where Emma was going to be. And that's why I nominated Meryl for a potential player of the match today, just because of those things that sometimes go a bit unnoticed but are so crucial.
Well, this is, Quins, they're known for never saying die. They had a penalty advantage and they played so well, they got rid of it. This was an incredible carry from Micheletti too, and I just want to see this last jackal, because it was an incredible moment. But was she in at the side? Does it matter?
It doesn't, and I have to confess that Holly Cunningham is my best friend, so I'm not going to say anything against her.
I mean, she hasn't gone through the gate there, has she? But look at the reaction from Cunningham as well. Her and Delaney Burns today in the engine room. How good.
Yeah, so good. I think I'm so pleased for Delaney that on a 100th game they could get the win, and especially at Principality. What a place, what an occasion to do it, and to top off her 100th game with a win is just, couldn't ask for more.
Well, a confirmed attendance of 14,000 plus today have enjoyed an absolute cracker, and it is Bristol Bears who will leave the Principality Stadium with a smile on their face. And let's take a look at what that means for the table. Gloucester, Hartpury and Saracens way out there in front. I mean, Quins, they are level on points with Sale, but only one game to go. You've got to expect them to beat Leicester Tigers, but they'll finish on a maximum of 42. Trailfinders have got Loughborough Lightning, Gloucester, Hartpury and Saracens to play. Does that make Sale Sharks favourites for 4th place?
I think it could be, which is super exciting for them that this would be the first time that they'd make it into the top 4.
A couple of weeks ago, he told me not to tell anyone, but Luke Stratford said, I think we can get 4th. And his wife Zoe said, you are crazy. But lo and behold, here we are with a few rounds to go, and Sale Sharks have got themselves in a great position. Saracens versus Sale Sharks. That'll actually be kicking off in 10 minutes' time, and I'm sure Sale will be buoyed with this result. That is live on BBC iPlayer. Tomorrow, if you're a TNT subscriber, Trailfinders versus Loughborough Lightning. Again, the winner of that game kicks on. The loser is almost out of the top 4 race. And then Gloucester Hartpury, the 3-time champions, desperate to make it 4. And Leicester Tigers continuing to build. But Phoebe, that's a tough away trip for the girls from the East Midlands.
That is, I think Gloucester Hartpury have been a formidable force this season. But I think that game, if looking at the team sheet for Gloucester, there's a few opportunities for some people to get some game time, which would be nice for them.
Right, we've seen the table, we've seen the fixtures, we've seen this smile on your face. Phoebe, thank you for your company. Let's get some final thoughts. What you've enjoyed, what this means for Bristol Bears in what has been a disappointing season. But there are green shoots of a good team here, aren't there?
Yeah, I think for me it just shows that there's still life in the team yet. There's still 2 games at the end of the season that we can go and put some good performances in, go and enjoy each other's company tonight, over the next few weeks, go support the girls at the Six Nations, which I'm looking forward to as well.
Absolutely, so much to look forward to, not just in Premiership Women's Rugby, but the international rugby as well. What you can look forward to now is heading over to iPlayer for the 2:30 kickoff. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.